Where are my glasses? Wait a minute. I always lose these glasses. Where are my glasses? Where do they go? All right, I got them. I found them. Okay, that's cool. I don't know where they always go. They always disappear. They run off on me. Sunlight's coming up soon. We're doing an early little program today. Welcome back. My name is Matthew Diabate. This is Kill the Cat Radio, Sharp Teeth, episode 4. Can you believe it? We're already there. Episode 4. I love it. I'm so happy about that. You fucking what? Now this thing. Hey, where's a producer? I need a producer really quick. You got to know anybody who's a producer? Okay, I got my papers here. All right, we're going to just jump right into it. Okay, we've got a big show today. Lots of things to talk about. Starting off, you can see, right, little haircut. Okay, so no more institutional haircut. Yeah, sorry guys. I know it looked great when my hair was all screwy, but you gotta get a haircut once in a while. Also, got my coat on, right? Everything's cool. Got the guitar's here. Got my statue over here. You'll also notice that it's a little bit more HD, so we look a little bit more clear. Okay, we're working on it. Why don't you take a moment and go ahead right now and hit the subscribe button if you're watching this. It's actually really, really easy. It's easier than you think to subscribe to my channel. I believe we are at 34 subscribers as we speak. We need to get to 1,000 before we can monetize the channel. Now, the money's not going to be coming from you. It's going to be coming from YouTube. All right. So right below, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Start getting more subscribers. If you have a Gmail account, if you just go to YouTube, sign in with your Gmail account, you don't get spam or anything like that. Just hit the subscribe button. You're part of the channel. You're part of my oral interviews that I do off camera. You're part of the short stories we release. You're part of these Sharp Teeth episodes. YouTube requires 1,000 subscribers or 40,000 viewable, watchable hours. Can you believe that? 40,000. Now, I have some good news for you. Because of your guys' fantastic interaction with me and this channel, we're already up to 1,500 hours of watchable material. Now, that is amazing. So whoever you are out there, thank you so much for sticking around, listening to these little rants we do here each week. I really appreciate it. Keep it coming, right? Hit the subscribe button, and let's get into this whole program here. Now, our intro today is about February in New York City. Now, usually everybody goes through a little seasonal affective disorder. They can feel a little bummy around the winter days. And usually around mid-February, it's the worst here in New York City. I'm sure it's the same thing in Chicago. I'm sure it's the same thing in Western Europe. I'm sure it's the same thing in Canada. Usually around this time, the air gets a little crisp, too chill. Everybody's in a bad mood. They're driving poorly. It's snowy. It's rainy. It's disgusting. You're just in a bad mood. You're not feeling very good about things. Totally normal. Every time I start feeling a little bit sad, I feel this heaviness around my head, a cloud of negativity, I can pretty much assume that it's probably mid-February in New York City. And really, it has nothing to do with anything else. I mean, it's so much easier when it's sunny and everybody's running around and going to the beach and looking nice. And, it's everybody's got their beach bods ready to go. Yeah, but around mid-February, oh man, it is rough. And as of the recording of this today, it is February 13th. So we're right in the pocket of total and utter depression. Now, am I depressed? I'm actually feeling pretty good. I have to say, it's kind of interesting. Losing the weight, being positive, writing down goals. These are essential to anybody's life. And if you're having problems yourself out there, you're not alone. There's probably thousands of people out there right now feeling exactly how you're feeling. So don't sweat it. All right. Don't sweat the small stuff. Make a list. Do it every day. Clean your room. Make your bed. All that good stuff. Make sure your environment is exactly the way you want it to be, and you will be able to succeed. Just like me. Maybe you can start your own channel, and then I'll subscribe to yours, and then you subscribe to mine. Quid pro quo, doctor. All right, so 3 topics each week. First topic is about the MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art here in New York City. Now, I'm a member here. Now, I was gifted a membership each year to this fantastic museum. Now, a lot of people say, okay, I hate modern art. I can't stand it. And if you don't live here in New York City, you don't know what it is. Most of the modern art, what they qualify as modern art, is usually roughly about from 1850 to about 1970. There is still some new exhibits of new artists that they will showcase, but mainly it's between 1850 to about 1970. There's other museums in New York City. We have the most amazing museums here in the world. But the MoMA, Museum of Modern Art, right over on 53rd Street and 5th Avenue, it's amazing. And what's even better about it is that you can get a membership to this program for $85 a year. Now, that's just a single membership. Now, that entitles you to be able to go there anytime you want. I don't work for them. I would love to work for them. They're fantastic. But just think, if you're just wandering around Midtown and you just, maybe you're feeling down, like I said, it's February, and you were like, I want to see a Van Gogh painting. You could just go on in. There's Starry Night right there. You could just check it out on a Monday at noon. It's open to all members. Usually it costs about $25. That's why people sort of like stray away from it. They'd rather go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is free to all New Yorkers. And it's at a sort of donation base. I usually just give a quarter because let the rich people handle all that. The MoMA, definitely, if you live in New York City, that's a real deal. If you go up to $200, I think, per year. Now, that's not even $1 a day, if you think about it. You can go to their movie program. You can take anybody you want for free. There's always the guests. They have private parties. It's super fun. They had an open bar for a while, which is pretty dope, I must say. And I don't know if they changed that, but they should really bring that back. I'm telling you. The reason why I bring up the MoMA and why is because people ask themselves, is art really important? Now, this is a huge question, and we'll get into this in other podcasts. People think art is kind of snooty, hoity-toity stuff like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Just look at pictures of things. You know, half the paintings there, they're kind of abstract art. Most of them don't even make any sense. Like, why should I look at this wall just covered in white or a line of beige? Is this really interesting? What does a line of beige even mean? Yes, I know some of it's pretty heady, but as I said, we're talking about the post-impressionists. There's a Monet there back to 1850. I think even earlier, 1845. They have an amazing photography section. They have all kinds of events that go on as well. People say, why is art important? I'm telling you it's important because what you put in front of you will change how you feel inside. If you surround yourself in a garbage dump, you're not going to feel very good. And even if you do work at the dump, you could go to the MoMA after you get off work so you can cleanse yourself and look at some beautiful paintings and see the world in a different way. Also, it's great to interact with fellow museum goers. You know, there is always a cafe, there's always a bar there, and you can meet people. I've met people from all around the world. I made some really cool French friends. I met some really cool Canadians, some Germans, some people visiting from California. If you just show a little bit of interest in other people, it's great. And you know, too, that they have the same interests as you. Now, you don't have to get all serious about everything. I mean, I like to go there and really nerd out and put in the earphones and all of that, just so I can learn about the history of these different paintings. And it's free. It's just on your phone. You can just download the app and all that. But art is important because what you put in front of you is the most important thing. You know, if your house is a mess, like we were talking about earlier, it's going to affect you. If you walk outside and there's just trash all over your sidewalk, you're not going to feel very good about your environment and your community if this is going on. Now, what is really fascinating to me is that so many New Yorkers don't even go out of their comfort zones. And this is something that's been very fascinating to me and moves us to kind of point two. I recently tore my Achilles tendon, so I've been sitting down a lot, not really as mobile as I normally could be. But when you're laid up, this is point two of our topics, is injury. When you finally get taken out by something, whether it's a cold or a leg injury like mine, or you're just sick, or you're not feeling very well, you hurt your back or your shoulder, it's a wonderful time to reflect, kind of to really take in your own life and what's going on. You're seeing a pattern here. It's kind of floating through. This is like almost a self-improvement course. today, sharp teeth number 4. But when you're laid up, you really have a moment to really think about all the different things that are going on in your life. And it's time for a quiet contemplation. You can't really move around. New York City's a rough place, especially if you got something like me. I fell straight down twice, not inebriated, nothing, like just fell down like an old man, face forward. Thank God I got these power elbows, but I would have busted this up pretty bad. It would not been good. But since I had my leg up and been thinking about a lot of things, I started thinking about the MoMA and how important that was, and why art was important, why books are important, and why music is important, and all of these different things kind of coming together to whatever you put into your brain is how you're going to feel about life. So whatever you like, if you want to listen to Tupac all day long, listen to Tupac all day long. If you can't dance around to it, fine. You can bob and weave. You could do a little of that. If you're feeling sick, put on some classical music, close your eyes and just think and go to this other place and try to imagine what all of these amazing artists were composing in the old days. The number 2 point I'm trying to bring up here is that I know so many New Yorkers and people who live in big cities who are stuck in this bubble that they've created. I know people who get off work, go to the same bar every day with the same people and hear the same stories. I was a bartender for years. I know this tip to toe. All right. They tell the same stories. They get drunk in the same ways, and they don't even leave the 3 blocks that they live on. Think how expensive New York City is. I mean, the average rent here for a 1-bedroom apartment anywhere in Manhattan or Queens or here in Brooklyn or the Bronx, we're looking at above, starting at $1,500. That's just 1 bedroom, and all the way up, God knows. Now, if you're going to spend all that money and all that time working to get that money, don't you think that you would want to use New York City to your fullest advantage? There's free events that are occurring at the museum. There's free events happening at local community coffee shops. There's free music out in the parks. I mean, maybe not in February, obviously, because it's like, kind of a hellscape out there. But there's stuff to do. And what confounds me, what I cannot get through my noggin here, is how much people stay stuck in their little bubbles, even in the greatest city in all of the United States. What is their deal? I mean, I understand we get ourselves into patterns and but these flight patterns, we're landing at the same airport every day. These people don't even live. Like, I know people in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Okay. I'm not going to name names. Don't worry. Okay. I like some of you. All right. But some of you other ones, you need to get out of your situation a little bit. And you know who you are. All right. You know who you are. You need to get out of your situation. We have the best subway systems here other than Tokyo, okay, and Paris. You can get to the other side of the city in less than a half hour, 30 minutes. You can be in a totally different environment, totally different neighborhood. And I just cannot understand why these people just stay in their same little bubbles. I understand having friends, but well, take your friends out. Go meet at your local pub. Get your booze, get your drunk on, and then go somewhere else. It's your day off. Cool. All right. Meet up at the pub again. Get a Bloody Mary. Get out of here and go over to the MoMA. Go over to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Go to the Whitney Museum. Go to wherever you'd like. Go to Central Park. If you stay stuck, that's going to really start to corrode the inside of your heart. It's going to corrode the inside of your soul and corrode the inside of your heart. If you can't move, like I can't move, I'm laid up here. All I can do is make fun videos for you guys. Read a new book. Listen to a new band. If you have internet connection, you got YouTube, you can pretty much watch anything. You're watching this now, so you can just watch anything you want. I appreciate you watching me, but you can watch anything you want. Find an illegal website to stream any movie you wish. I'm not going to say which ones, all right, because I would never do anything like that. I would never do anything like that. I swear on my left hand, I would never do that. Aren't you supposed to swear on the right hand? Okay, whatever. Yeah, so when you're wounded, it's time for quiet reflection. What is going on in your life? Where is it going to go? And, think about the past. Think about where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going to go in the future. It's a perfect nexus point. So in a way, when you're wounded and hurt and laid up like me, you are at the perfect crossroads to be able to see where you've been, where you are now, and where do you want to go. We're going to take a little bit of a turn here. Okay. A little turn. All right. Number three. Shitty fucking neighbors. Oh my God. Oh my God. It takes every bone in my body not to lay curses upon these people. New York City is a crowded place. We understand that. Every day and outside this window, there's traffics and horns blaring and people going crazy and yelling and swearing. In the back area, there's construction and jackhammering. So there's already you're hyped up. Okay, living here. Okay, I'm living by the freeway here. You can just constantly hear it. It almost sounds like a constant stream, like water flowing down rock. You just hear the sounds of the freeway traffic slowly moving down. So we've got enough problems as it is. Now, the average New Yorker is used to this. We're like, okay, we know what we got ourselves into. We moved here. We pay all the money to live here. We get it. Okay, fine. But when you live next door, or if you live below, like me, certain neighbors who just incessantly make a ton of noise for no reason. These motherfuckers right here have a drum set in their apartment. Yeah. Every morning, pop, pop, pop. They hit that bass drum. Yeah, the kick drum, Now, this is an old building. It's like, this was made in 1911, this building. Every morning. Now, of course, in New York City, you can call the cops on these people. They'll come, but if you're not there to let them in the building to go give these guys a real talking to, then they can't do anything. It just continues. Now, you got to think to yourself, if you're a neighbor and you have a drum set and you are constantly on drugs, these kids are on drugs. When I say kids, I'm not even talking about that these people are 18 years old, 19 years old. I can understand that. I mean, I was an idiot when I was 18 and 19 years old. That's a fact. These people are in their mid-30s. Worst thing is, too, they're suffering from another New York problem, which is the Peter Pan syndrome. I call them secretly the king and queen of the ball. That's what they are. They're always in these like rock star outfits and stuff. And I have got nothing against really cool fashion, but it's like the way everybody else in the building can't stand these fucking kids. And they just are either having parties. I've told them this has been going on for almost 9-10 years. I have to keep going up there. And they're like, this is borderline harassment. I'm like, it's not fucking harassment when you're having a party every fucking night at 3 a.m. playing bass drum. You know what the worst thing is too, is if they were actual good musicians, I might not even care that much. Like if the bitch could sing on key, that would be one thing, like at least you could do it. But she's part of this, I don't know what it is. It's like sort of pseudo punk wannabe, Lower East Side style screeching and wailing. It sounds like someone's being murdered up there. Or like a cow is dying. Or like if you were like to strangle a goat, that sort of thing. That's how she sounds like. That's her tone. You can tell I'm getting a lot off my chest. But to me, this is a perfect example of sort of the arrogance of youth, or an arrogance of some kind of youth, where you are in a bubble, you are doing whatever you want to do, and no one else is around. Now, I understand how hard it is out there to be in a rock and roll band. I was in a rock and roll band, but I had the courtesy to rent a fucking space outside the apartment. I rented my own space with my band. Everybody chips in like $5 a week. We go in, there's rehearsal spaces. They got drum sets there. You don't have to set up a drum kit above my bedroom. There were some weeks that I was going truly crazy, completely insane, only sleeping 2 hours at night. And you can't do that. I mean, maybe that's the reason why my leg's so fucked up. I don't know. Maybe I fell down because I haven't been sleeping properly because of these fucking assholes. Moral of the story is pay attention to what is around you. This whole episode kind of fits in together. Pay attention to what's around you. What is around you is what's going within you. And what's going within you is going to build you up into your heart and your soul. Sounds a little hippie. I know. But being around Other people means you need to take in consideration other people. Other people are trying to live their lives. It's New York City, and it doesn't matter where you live. It's expensive, tough times. They're transporting eggs over the border. There's UFOs in the sky. You know, we're going to World War III. There's earthquakes in Syria. It's horrific. It's a tough world out there. Okay. So this is a public service announcement from KTCR Sharp Teeth. If you're in a situation and you're in a bubble and you want to be in a great rock and roll band, here's a couple things. 1, sing the fuck on key. 2, shut the fuck up. If it's after a certain time, shut the fuck up, or you're going to be murdered. I'm going to come up there and murder you. Then it'll be really quiet. Then again, of course, jail's not that quiet either. So yeah, we'll just take the murder off the table there. Well, look at what we got here. Your favorite segment, Creep of the Week. Creep of the Week doesn't have to be any person. It could be a thing, an idea, or something that's going on that's just creepy and kind of fucked up. Something I personally want to address to and acknowledge that I think is absolutely horrific. Now, again, we are a news, media, entertainment, philosophical channel. We'll cover all kinds of different topics at any given time in any given episode. And this is something that's been really getting on my nerves for a while now. It's the problem of twerking. I wanted to put this in some kind of essay form, but instead of that, I'm just going to talk to you about this right now. Twerking. It's a phenomenon. Yes. Twerking. It's everywhere. I see it at award shows. I see it on TV shows. I see it everywhere. This has been going on since, I think, the 90s. It started out in strip culture, strip club culture. And, it's basically, it's a kind of a thing. It's, it's a sexy thing you do in sex clubs and, whatever, you know what I mean? The girl's like shaking her ass and you put $1 in a G-string and that's fine. Now, I'm not really interested in going to strip clubs. I've been to some, but I'm not like, obsessed like some guys are. Twerking. It's crazy. It's happening everywhere. And here's what really got to me. Okay. I'm walking down the street. I'm going over to the supermarket. And I see these little girls. We're talking under 5 years old. Okay. They're with their mothers and they're doing this weird little twerking dance. 5-year-olds twerking. What the F? 5-year-olds. Who's teaching them this? Where are they learning this? And then you look around and you see it. It's on sitcoms, movies. It's on Velma. Okay, there's a scene where Velma's twerking in blood. I mean, the Scooby-Doo bullshit, that really horrible show that Mindy Kaling, that frightening troll put out. You see it everywhere. It's unbelievable. You see it in She-Hulk. What's this twerking in a comic book movie? That doesn't make any sense. Now, look, I don't want to come off as a prude here. Okay, I love women. I love women dancing, but there are hundreds of different dancing styles that you can do without turning around, giving the over shoulder, and just start shaking your ass. I mean, think about the tango, right? That's a very restrained and kind of beautiful kind of dance moves, right? The salsa, right? You got your little moves here. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? A little slower, or a little bit more methodical, right? You get the merengue. I went to DR once, and that was pretty interesting because it's all about the bottom of the hips. You know what I mean? It's like really cool, but it's still shaking. You're still shaking your ass a little bit. But this twerking thing is specific kind of sex club movement. You guys know what I'm talking about. Now, I was raised around all girls, okay? I got 3 sisters, my mom, 6 aunts. I love women. Women are the sexiest creatures on the planet. I am so heterosexual, it's beyond belief. Twerking, okay. If you're in a strip club, fine. Like, for instance, okay, the other day I was at a bar, and this girl, we were having a really intellectual conversation. It was really fun, and then some good music came on, and we're kind of just like dancing, together, having shots. It was awesome. And then right then, almost like it was like she was programmed. She got up off her bar stool, went over to the center of the room because she saw a bunch of guys looking at her, did the whole thing, put her hands up against the wall, and started doing that whole twerking thing. And it's, I guess I'm not completely against like the idea of twerking, okay, but it's this weird, almost mechanical thing that goes into a woman's mind. I mean, sure. I mean, some guys can twerk, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Okay, but I mean, you guys can talk amongst yourself about that idea. But she's right there. It's like a little like beast lizard brain immediately clicks in, and she just turned around and started twerking. And now we've got girls as young as 6-year-olds, 5 or 6-year-olds. Who's teaching this? The moms are clapping. They think it's funny. If I was their father, I'd be like, whoa, we ain't doing this. I'd send them immediately to dance school or some other kind of physical activity, get them into some interesting kind of moves, even modern dance. But this whole thing of just this stripper mentality is destroying femininity. All right. And I know you ladies are going to be like, oh, here we go. Here's a cisgender male heterosexual trying to tell us how to dance and what not to do. And he's afraid of sexuality. Bullshit. Okay. I love sexuality. I love all of it. I'm just saying it seems like there's some kind of new pandemic of twerking, and it's a problem. Think about the animal community for a moment. Okay. Go watch some nature videos. There's only 2 animals other than human beings that show their ass when they want sexual attention. Okay. And that's baboons and dogs. Now, is that really what we want for our young ladies in this country? To act like baboons and dogs? Come on, girls. We could do better than that. And that's the creep of the week. Twerking. We got a new section here, which I think is pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's going to be called the talkback section. You are asked to comment below on anything I talk about here on this program. Okay, go down below, write a comment in, right? If you like the show this week, if you don't like the show this week, but be open. All right. I'm not going to get offended. I love conflict. I am perfectly okay with any kind of conflicting situations. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. We could be good friends. If you like to twerk and you don't like my opinion about it, write it down in the comments section. Please just participate. But in this section, it's going to be called the talk back section, where I talk back to your comments and criticisms. So nothing was really written down, but I did get an unwarranted critique of the first 3 episodes of Sharp Teeth. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to tell you who it was. I'm not going to name names here because that's just bullshit. All right. But the major critique was I took too long in my intros. That's right. I believe the words were, I just kept meandering, Well, let me address this. All right. Episode 1 was the first time I ever was on camera. You know how nerve-wracking it is to be on camera? I don't have any media training. I've never put myself in a situation like this. Yeah, I can interview people, because I've got a face for radio and I can talk like this and it's pretty cool and just say, hey, KTCR, let's sit down with this person. Being on camera was probably the most scary thing I've ever done. So sitting up and you're looking at, looking here at ET, the camera over here. I should put that smiley face on there, but I'm starting to feel okay with the dead look of the camera. Anyways, the point is that I was freaked out. I didn't know what I was doing. I was scratching. I was over here. I was talking about nonsense. I was losing my glasses like I did already this episode. And the person was like, hey, they're like, you take too long. It's like kind of boring. You ramble on for 7 minutes of the episode and you're not even getting around to it. Well, let me tell you something. All right. Go out and get yourself a camera and see how good you do. All right. I don't have a script. I'm not reading off a teleprompter here. I'm not doing anything. I write down my ideas. Right. Okay. I write them down. I put them out. I just start talking to you guys. And those first 3 episodes, were pretty hard to get through. And so my meandering sort of ideas, this just ends up being my style. This is what it's like. I want to be as personal with you as the viewer as you will be with me when you comment in the section. Now, as I said, it's the talkback section. So I will talk back to you, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, but I will address you. So please, let's start the interaction. So for the person who said I took too long, was it a little better this week? Thanks for the critique. I hope it is. Oh, yeah. And also someone commented on how messed up my hair was. So I did do something about that. So I do appreciate that. That's the talkback section. Anyways, everybody, Thanks again for coming back. KTCR Sharp Teeth, episode 4. Please hit the subscribe button right below. We got to get up to 1,000 views. We got to have 1,000 subscribers. We could do this together. 40,000 watchable hours. Let's make a career out of this. Let's do this. And then also send me letters, in the comment section, what kind of topics you'd like me to address. We could do this together. All right, we're going to do this. This is KTCR Sharp Teeth. Thank you for watching. Tune into the next episode, and I'll see you soon.